This episode of Fern and Friends is presented in partnership with Hey Design Guy and Dominion Designs and Media. Hey, and welcome to episode 1 of the Fern and Friends podcast, which is part of the Fern Effect. It is a beautiful February day here in Texas, so I'm excited for our first guest. As a matter of fact, I'll have my virtual podcast assistant help us introduce our guest. Hey, Tyrone, are you around?
Hi, Fern. Yes, I'm right here. How can I help?
Great. Please tell us about this episode's guest, JaChelle Johnson, Analytics Associate Analyst at PepsiCo.
Sure thing. Let me look up our guest, JaChelle Johnson. Okay, starting with a web search. Got it. And I'm now searching for JaChelle via LinkedIn. Okay, believe I've got all the information we need about our guest. Today, we're joined by JaChelle Johnson, a rising voice in AI and analytics. JaChelle works at PepsiCo on the Microsoft 365 Copilot team, where she helps bring AI tools into real, everyday business workflows. We're talking about her journey into tech, working with AI at an enterprise scale, and what it really looks like behind the scenes. How does that sound, Fern?
Thank you, Tyrone, for that info, which was on point. So without further ado, let's welcome in Miss JaChelle Johnson to the first episode of Fern and Friends. Hey girl, it is Fern and Friends here. I am here with JaChelle Johnson. Girl, you're looking cute on a Saturday morning.
Thank you, Auntie. You look cute. I like the outfit. The hair is cute. I like the jacket. Yeah.
Thank you. It's giving. I'm trying to give rich auntie vibes, but I ain't got no job, I ain't got no money, so maybe you could make a donation to the Fern Johnson Fund.
Unfortunately, not at this current time. We're not aligned with that.
All right, well, listen, we're having a quick conversation because we're doing a test mash it up, all about AI. And this is your first job. You had 2 great internships, and now you are at what? PepsiCo.
Yes, PepsiCo.
So what do you do at PepsiCo?
So my job at PepsiCo, I'm in charge of Copilot user adoption, which means I'm all about Copilot all day, making sure that it's increasing productivity and people are using it to the best of their ability. So I do trainings and I do a lot of just adoption. I make SharePoints, I make websites, a lot of pushing Copilot. That's what I do.
So that's Microsoft's tool to leverage AI and actually blend it into the work that you're doing on a day-to-day basis. Can you give me an example of how you're using Copilot? Like, do you use Copilot in your meetings? So instead of you typing notes, is Copilot doing it for you, girl?
Yes, I have a kind of difficult time multitasking. So Copilot will record the video and the transcript. And then from there, I can take notes or I can ask questions and nobody else will know about it. So I can ask a question like, what did that mean? Or can you further explain that? Because they speak very high level and Copilot will break it down for me. So I love Copilot at work.
I love that. So when you went into school, now where'd you go to school?
The illustrious Florida. Yes, the illustrious Florida A&M University. Go Rattlers.
Okay. So when you went into school, you didn't know anything about Copilot. Was Copilot even talked about then?
No, Copilot was not as big as ChatGPT was. Even for one of my classes, I had to use ChatGPT. We could have used Copilot, but ChatGPT was the bigger one.
And so you have a perfect segue to this question because I think a lot of parents are dealing with this. What's the balance between using ChatGPT or Copilot for research versus just letting it do your work? What's the fine line? How do you work that to make sure that you're still providing your content, but leveraging AI as a tool for research versus doing the work for you? Talk to me about how do you manage that?
Well, I like to have my own, I still want my voice to be heard throughout the work that I produce. And although some AI systems are used to train based on your voice, it doesn't truly give out your true voice. So I make sure that I use it more as a resource rather than letting it do it for me. And also you have to use it so it won't take everyone's jobs away. That's what everyone keeps saying. But if you use it as a resource, as a tool and understand it, it can help you do your job better. So that's what I try to keep in mind, that it's going to help me be better rather than letting it do whatever it wants to do.
So what do you think our next generation who are in tech, how can they stand out with using AI? What would make them stand out so that their leadership, their team knows that they're effectively using it, but being creative?
I think the more you understand it and the deeper you go into learning about AI, so you can learn about AI, but what about prompt engineering? What about quantum? How does the GBT part work? So I think learning more about AI and what it can do, because a lot of people are kind of scared about it, but I'm the go-to Copilot person because I surround myself around AI and what it can do, and I keep furthering myself and being a sponge and learning more. So if you keep learning about AI and you don't let it scare you or don't let it challenge you, then I think that's how you get ahead of what other people are doing.
So don't be intimidated, girl. You ain't intimidated. You intimidated?
I could never be. Copilot will
What?
never defeat me.
What? It will never defeat her, she said. Let me just tell you people, my Fern and Friends group, my new Fern and Friends community. JaChelle, I'm from New York. JaChelle is straight from Virginia and Florida. But we've gotten quite close. You know, she's a Johnson, so we're trying to keep that auntie, niecey vibe going. But she tries to talk New York. And it's so funny because, it's just, you can't mimic it. You can't intimidate it. You need the authenticity of being a New Yorker. But that's okay. I don't even think I sound like I'm from New York. Not at all. But when I get around who? Florence. No,
Oh,
no,
yeah.
not you.
Oh, Florence. Oh, yeah. Well, you sound like a New Yorker to me because I just feel like that's what New Yorkers sound like.
I'm
But
Mrs. Swifty when it comes to it because I've been in Texas now for 20 years, but that's
y'all are
another
just New Yorkers
that's
to
another
come.
conversation for another day. All right, so let's get back to this AI conversation. Where do you see AI in the next, I don't even say 5 years, where will you see AI in the next 2 years?
I think it's going to be you must learn about it to continue to work. I feel like that everyone should start learning about it now, but I feel like if you don't use it and don't start learning about it, you're going to fall behind in work. That's just how you're going to fall behind. You must learn about it. You can't just stay away from it. It's not something you can keep pushing off. You
Right.
have to learn about it.
How about getting an advanced degree? I think you're getting your master's. Is your master's having to do anything with AI?
It doesn't have anything to do with AI, but all of my classes, my teachers tell me all the time, you will fall behind if you don't use AI. Like they're including it into the course, so
Oh,
they're forcing us to learn about it.
okay, all right, all right. Well, listen, this was meant to be a real short conversation. We just have a few more minutes. If you were to tell your younger self, now that you are in your 20s and you started your career, what would you tell your younger self now that you are, a big wig in a Fortune 50 organization doing the AI damn thing? What would you tell them?
I would tell myself, you should be proud of yourself, but keep learning. Like, don't ever stop learning. I know you're out of school. Well, I'm in grad school now, but before I was out of school, this is what you worked for. Keep on working. Don't stop. Don't lose your momentum. Don't get stagnant. You must keep going.
Get it, don't stop, get it, don't stop, get it. What? All right. Wow, that's a lot for a Saturday morning. All right, friends, we appreciate Miss JaChelle Johnson, Microsoft Pilot extraordinaire, Zeta
Yeah.
Beta, let me get it right.
Yes, please.
Okay, what is it now?
Zeta Phi Beta Sorority
She's a
Incorporated.
member of the Zeta Phi Beta Sorority Incorporated. She's a proud FAMU grad. She is the proud daughter of the Johnson family that hails out of Florida and Virginia. And we want to say thank you for being our first guest on
Yes.
Friends. Well, won't he do it? Won't he do
What
it?
do you do?
Won't
I'm
he
happy to
do
be
it?
here. Thank you for having me.
You're welcome. Thank you. Wow. That was a great first episode and an amazing conversation with JaChelle. Tyrone, how would you summarize or recap the conversation?
I agree, Fern. That was a great conversation. My key takeaways that really stood out are: first, AI works best when it actually fits into real life. JaChelle reminded us that tools like Copilot aren't about doing more work. They're about doing work better, capturing meetings, organizing thoughts, cutting down the mental overload. That's where AI earns its place. Second, using AI doesn't mean losing your voice. JaChelle was clear about that. These tools should support your thinking, not replace it. Your perspective, your creativity, your judgment. That's still the most important part of the work. And finally, learning AI is no longer optional. Curiosity is the real advantage. Whether you're in school, early in your career, or already deep in it, staying open, learning how these tools work, and not being intimidated by them, that's how you stay relevant.
Perfect recap, Tyrone. And a huge shout out and thanks to my girl, Miss JaChelle Johnson, for keeping it real and reminding us that the future of AI is still very human. And thank you for tuning in and hanging out with us. Let us know what you thought about this episode. Join the conversation at Fern Friends on all social platforms. Until the next episode, bye for now.